Hello all, hope you all are doing good. In this session, we are going to learn basic form of SQL query. The basic form of an SQL query, specifically when retrieving the data, it is composed of the combination of clauses. Now let us see what are the combination of clauses that are included in SQL. So namely, we have select, from, and where. These three are the clauses which are mainly used in the basic form of SQL query. So what is select? We have already learned what is select command in the previous lecture. It is mainly used for retrieving the data from the database. Select is only used to get the data from the database. It is not used for any other operations to be performed on the database. Similarly, from. From is another clause which comes under the basic form of SQL. So the purpose of using from is, in order to get the data from one particular table, you have to specify the table name followed by this from clause. Not only this particular thing, you can also make use of a condition. Based upon the condition, if the condition is met, then the tuples are retrieved from the table name. So when the condition is used, it must be followed with the where clause. So this is how you are working with select, from, and where clauses in the basic form of SQL query. Now let us move on to the next slide. Here we have SQL order by. So order by is a keyword used to sort the result set in ascending or descending order. The name itself specifies what, whenever the values you get for particular column names, and if you wanted to sort them in some order, you have to make use of this order by clause. So order by either in ascending or in descending order. This is the syntax which we follow. That is, select column names from table name, order by column names either in ascending or in descending. If you don't specifically write this ASC, which means ascending, then also the values for the column names which you have specified after the select command will be sorted in an ascending order. But if you wanted something to be displayed in a reverse order or from high to low, then it is necessary to include this one, that is DESC, which means descending order. Let me take an example table here. Let we have the attributes like product ID, product name, and then we have price. Let the values for product ID be defined as 1, 2, 3, and the name for the products be defined as X, Y, and Z. And then we have some price for the products be 50 rupees, 10, and then 100 rupees. If you observe, this is what the price of the product which is arranged in an ascending order. So this is how the output you will be retrieved for this particular query. Now here we have some example queries using order by. Just pause the video and try to answer the questions which are listed over here. Now let us find out the answer for every question. Sort the products from highest to lowest. So this we have already seen as an example. And next, coming to the second question, sort the products alphabetically by product name. Alphabetically, which means ascending order. So you need not specifically mention ASC. Even if you do or if you don't do it, the details for the product table will be sorted based upon the product name in an ascending order. So what is the query that you have to write? Select asterisk from which table? Let the table be product. Name of the table is product. Now you have to arrange the tuples that comes under product table based upon the product name in an alphabetical order. So you are writing order by product name. That's it. Next, third one. Sort all the employees based on the name in ascending order and ID in descending order. It's not that you have to use either ascending or descending as an order. You can even use both ascending and descending order for the different column names. Select asterisk from employee based on the name in ascending order and ID in descending order. So I am arranging the details for the employee based on the name, which is in ascending order, and ID in descending order, and with the semicolon. Coming to the fourth question, select all records from customer table, sort the result alphabetically by the column city. Alphabetically means again you are using ascending. So here what should I write? As it is said, all the records we will be using asterisk symbol. Select asterisk from what is our table name? Customers is our table. So I'm writing customers here. Order by how the details of the employees has to be sorted based upon the column name called city. So order by city. Don't mention ASC. It's not required. And with semicolon. And next, select all records from customer table other than Berlin city. I wanted to retrieve the tuples or the records from the customer table. Only those customers who does not belong to this particular city name. So what should be our query? Select, as it is mentioned all, we will be using asterisk symbol from, what is our table name? Customers where not city is equal to Berlin. We are using a not operator. The group by statement groups rows that have the same values into summary rows. What do you mean by this? This is very, very important. So group by is a clause which is used on collaboration with the select command. Don't forget that whenever you are working with the group by clause, you are using this is select. It is in collaboration with the select command or select statement to arrange the identical data into the groups. Example, if I consider employee as a table name, let we have an attribute called department name. Under department name, there are several departments like sales department, productivity department, accounts department. Right. Now the question is, how many number of employees are working in each department? To know the number of employees working in each department, you are grouping the department name here. So when you group the department name, then you will be knowing how to find out the number of employees that works for each department. So in that case, we will be using this group by clause. And similarly, order by is also used to arrange the values for the column in either ascending or descending. Here we have an example. List the number of customers in each city. Let we have countries like India and USA. Now, the number of customers in each country. Now, how many number of customers are there in India? Let the number of customers be 100. How many number of customers are there in USA? Let the number of customers be 200. Right. Now I have to arrange these in an descending order because they asked us to sort in high to low. Right. So what should be our output? The output should be the number of customers. My column name should be the number of customers as well as what the country name is to be displayed as an output. So how do you get the number of customers? When you are applying this count function. Count is a function which comes under aggregate operations. Aggregate operations, or we have several aggregate functions. Namely, we have sum function, average function, minimum function, maximum function, count function. These are the basic functions that comes under aggregate operations. So whenever these functions are used, they are only used to calculate. They are only used for mathematical operations. Right here, select the count of customer ID. When count operation is used, it is going to count the number of customers that comes under each country because we are grouping based upon the country here. And then as you wanted to sort it from high to low, we will be using order by clause when you are using group by. And if you wanted to apply some condition on the results that you obtain after you make use of that group by clause, then we will be working with the having clause. Once again, I'm going to repeat. Having is a clause which is applied only to the resultant set when the group by clause is applied for a table. So which is very much similar to the where clause. If you are using group by, then if you wanted to apply condition on the resultant set, then we will be using having, but not where. Where is applied for the individual records, but having is a clause which applies for the summarized group records. Whenever you are using having clause in the query, then there must be a group by clause. If group by clause is not present and if you are using having clause, then it shows you that the query is incorrect. Where and having can be used in the same query. So whenever you are working with having along with the group by clause, you can also make use of the where clause. So where is a clause which is applied for the individual records in the table, and whereas having is a condition that you can impose on the resultant set that you can obtain when a group by clause is applied for the table. So this is the syntax which we have. Now let us answer few queries that are listed over here using group by and having. The first question is, list the number of customers in each country sorted high to low. Now what is the answer for it? Pause the video and try to answer the questions. We are using an aggregate function called count. In the brackets customer ID. Let us assume that we have an ID column for the customers table. So count of ID, comma, in each country. So I'm going to write country. So these two are the column names which are to be displayed as output. From which table you are finding the data, that table name you have to mention along with the from clause. So from customers, group by, how you are grouping these values based upon the country. So group by country. So then what happens? From India, how many number of customers are there? So that country name is displayed and the number of customers will be displayed. Similarly, from USA, how many number of customers are there? So country name, that is USA, is displayed and then the number of customers will be displayed. So for that, we are using these two column names, count of customer ID, comma, country, group by country, sorted high to low. So how you have to sort it? You need to sort it from high to low. Order by count of ID, that is customer ID, in with semicolon. High to low it is set, so we'll be using descending in with the semicolon. Let the employee ID be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and let the salaries be 50K, 30K, 20K, 10K, 50K. When you are inserting values for the salary attribute, you have to write down 50,000, but don't mention 50K. It is not going to accept. Right? Now, what is it, Ma? The question is, find the number of employees based on the salaries. Select count of employees. So let the employee IDs be EID, count of employee IDs based on the salary. So I wanted to write down the salary column also to be displayed as output. From which table? From employee table, group by. Based on salaries, they said. So you have to group by salaries. So when this query is executed, what is the output you get for the table, employee table? This is my employee table. So let us see how many number of employees are having the same salary. So 50K, that is for 50,000. How many number of employees are there? There are two number of employees. So there are two number of employees who are taking 50,000 salary. And then coming to 30K, 30,000. So there are no more employees with the 30,000 of salary. So there is only one employee. So you get count as one here. Similarly for 20, you have one. Similarly for 10,000, there is only one employee, right? So likewise, you are retrieving the data based upon the salaries. Coming to the third question, find the number of employees who are more than 25 years old in each age group. Select count, number of employees. So we are using count function. Count employee ID who are more than 25 years old. I'm also going to display the values for age column. From which table? Let the table name be employees where age greater than 25. Group by each age group they said. So you have to group by age column. End with semicolon. List the number of customers in each country. So what is the query for it? Select count of customer ID, comma, country, group by this country. From which table? From customers table. So select count of customer ID, comma, country from customers, group by country. Now the query for with this is finished. So when this part is executed, what happens? From every country, how many number of customers are there that you are going to get as output. Now on that output, we are applying some condition. What is the condition? I wanted to get the resultant output as the number of customers who are more than 10 for each country. So when having clause is applied for the resultant group by clause, you are going to get the data for the number of customers for each country who are having more than 10 customers. Next, coming to fifth one, list the number of customers in each country except USA, sorted high to low, only include countries with 9 or more customers. So here, what is that? We will be using where clause as well as we will be using having clause. So select count of ID, country from customers where not country is equal to USA. Other than USA, how many number of customers are there in each country? That will be displayed as output based upon the country here. And then we have applied a condition for the resultant set. What is that condition? I again wanted to get only the count of the customers who has more than or equal to 9 customers in each country. For that, we are using a having clause, which is used only when group by is used. And in which way you wanted to arrange it, you have to arrange it in high to low. That means in and descending order. So thereby we will be using order by descending.